Hello, epic viewers. Brace yourself for unprecedented epicness, because today I'm going to elucidate why I'm no longer vegan and why I'm now a fruitarian. So why do I desist and abstain from veganism? Why is it not a staple in my life? Well, there are a multitude of reasons to explain why. Let's dabble into it. Let's delve into the nitty-gritty, and let's explore why I'm no longer a vegan. First off, there are a multitude of health issues appertaining to being a vegan. I'm now a fruitarian. In other words, I only eat fruits and vegetables. I eat them raw. I never poach them. I never steam them. I never cook them. And I desist from eating anything else. So I don't eat whole grains. I don't eat nuts. I don't eat seeds. I don't eat fungi. And I don't eat anything else other than fruits and vegetables. So, in conjunction with eating only fruits and vegetables, I also fast, and I fast for 96 to 108 hours in a row. So I'll desist and abstain and forgo eating anywhere from 4 to 4.5 days in a row, and I'll relegate my eating to a 72-hour time window. So I'm just giving you a breakdown, and I do everything I can for the prospect of prolonging my life. I want to optimize my health. I want to optimize my longevity rate. I want to decrease my mortality rate, and I want to retain my vessel for as long as viably possible. Now, veganism has a crux of, I guess you could say, veganism has a myriad of health problems, and the crux of the issue here is that what's presumed to be healthy is not, and you really have to dissect the issues for yourself. You really have to be an autodidact and do your own research. So you really have to be a pioneer in this field to understand what's going on, meaning you have to experiment for yourself, read secondary sources, and implement your own decisions based off the evidence-based research findings. And if something is enigmatic to you, then you need to shed light on the issue by uncovering the resolution for yourself. So, I apologize about digressing, but the issues with veganism are as followed. Whole grains decimate your microvilli. Microvilli are needed to break down the complex amino acids in foods. Your body doesn't have anatomy to break down amino acids in whole grains, so it puts a strain on your DNA and it compromises your DNA, and over time it could ravage your DNA. That's an issue, because you want to safeguard the integrity of your DNA. You don't want to ever do anything that can wreak havoc against your DNA. Aging is a result of DNA damage, and you really need to be meticulous about what you eat, because if you're not, then you could decimate your body unbeknownst to you. Now, another thing is that we only have the anatomy to be frugivores. We have flat teeth, long intestines, and we don't have any innate weapons on our appendages. Furthermore, our pH levels are high, unlike carnivores. Carnivores have innate weaponry. They have low pH levels, they have small intestines, and their anatomy is completely disparate from ours. So we're clearly not carnivores or frugivores, and fruit is the optimal food source for humans. It's scrumptious, it's savory, it's zesty, it's tangy, it's scrumptious, and it's flavorful and nutrient dense. We also should eat vegetables. Vegetables are chock full of macronutrients, micronutrients, vitamins, minerals, phytonutrients, flavonoids, carotenoids, and other healthy properties that we don't know of yet. Now, why do I not eat seeds and nuts? Well, seeds and nuts are protein dense. What's wrong with protein? Even from a plant-based source, unfortunately to my dismay, the research studies have shown that protein truncates, shortens, your telomeres. So I don't want anything that can truncate and shorten my telomeres, even if the effects are negligible and marginal. Over time, the damage can accrue. So that's one reason why I don't eat seeds and nuts. Furthermore, in conjunction with the aforementioned reason, I don't eat seeds and nuts because they contain phytic acid. Phytic acid inhibits the absorption of minerals such as iron, calcium, and zinc. It may also inhibit the absorption of other minerals such as magnesium, but it at least inhibits absorption of those three aforementioned minerals. And I don't want anything that can leach minerals or extract minerals or expunge minerals from my body, so I'm not going to be eating seeds and nuts ever again. Maybe if I'm starving, but if I'm starving, then I likely won't have access to seeds or nuts. So I also don't eat other food groups such as synthetic foods, bastardized and mutilated and concocted and forged by men, because they're tainted with additives, preservatives, pesticides, insecticides, herbicides, fungicides, carcinogens, endocrine disruptors, neurotoxins, and other noxious, deleterious chemicals that the body is not well suited to handle nor digest. These foreign ingredients should not be consumed by the body whenever possible. So I don't eat Dunkaroos, goldfish, bread, pasta, macaroni and cheese, not even vegan variants of dairy products or animal products. I'm sure that they have vegan chickens, vegan milks, but I don't want to eat anything synthetic. I don't even eat oils because they're oxidized. I don't have any special drinks. I just have distilled water. Everything I eat is also characterized by high levels of alkalinity, meaning I won't eat anything below a pH level of 7. And the only foods that don't leave an alkaline residue in your body are apparently berries and plums. Now, berries and plums, their pH levels are slightly above 7, so I guess you could deem them safe to eat because their acidity is low. But I don't want to eat anything with a pH level below 7. Now, you could say, oh, well, you may delude yourself into believing the misconception that grapefruits and lemons and limes are acidic, but really they leave an alkaline residue in your body when digested, so they may appear to be acidic, but the good news is they're not, because they're truly alkaline foods. So a lot of the fruits that you may think are acidic are not. So kiwis are not truly acidic, because when they're digested and assimilated by the body, they're considered an alkaline food. So to recapitulate, to summarize the key points, I'm not eating synthetic foods because they're bastardized and they contain a myriad of deleterious, harmful ingredients that the body is not well suited to handle nor digest without there being ramifications and repercussions. Now, even if you say, well, the ramifications are negligible if you're mostly eating fruits and vegetables, ramifications still bear harmful effects against your body, and they're still hazardous against your overall health, even if the effects are negligible. And like I said, the negligible effects in this cause and effect multiverse accrue over time. It becomes something deadly. So what may appear as a marginal problem now could be an albatross down the road. It's kind of like cancer. Cancer takes 20 years to form and cause you to succumb to death. So when a tumor becomes 4 inches in diameter, it'll likely metastasize to the other organs if you're not already dead, and will wind up killing you. So the point I'm trying to convey is, even if something appears to be negligible, you need to treat it right away. You need to rectify the issue as soon as possible and terminate the problem. You can't let these problems linger, because then they fester and they exacerbate, and then they become worse over time. Then they become more arduous to take care of. But cancer can survive in an alkaline body. So if you have cancer and you're worried about getting rid of it, and you need to terminate the tumor right away and eliminate more cancer cells, then only have fruits and vegetables that are characterized by high levels of alkalinity. And also fast. If you fast, it will allow your body to focus on mending itself. So I apologize about digressing, but getting back to what I was saying, I can't vindicate eating whole grains because they decimate the microvilli. I can't afford to further compromise my microvilli. They've already been damaged for decades, unbeknownst to me. And I can't afford to eat nuts and seeds because not only do proteins shorten your telomeres, these foods also contain phytic acid, and phytic acid can leach minerals from your body, so I can't afford to lose any minerals. It'd be completely needless for me to eat nuts and seeds. And I don't eat anything synthetic, once again, because it's too lethal to the body. Even if the effects appear to be marginal, there's still adverse effects nonetheless. So I only eat fruits and vegetables because my body has anatomy to only eat fruits and vegetables. I'm mostly meant to eat fruits, so I subsist off fruits, and I eat vegetables to supplement my lack of nutrients from fruits. I would argue that vegetables are more nutrient dense than fruits, but we're not meant to graze all day. We're meant to eat fruits. Fruits fit perfectly into the palms of our hand, and they make us feel reinvigorated. Vegetables don't have the same rejuvenating effect because there's no calories in them, and there's barely any sugar in them, if any. Yeah, so that's about it. And do I feel much better? Of course I do. I mean, I love being able to fast because it allows me to rejuvenate it allows me to rejuvenate my immune system. It allows me to elicit ketosis. It allows me to expunge more waste from my body. It allows me to repair my DNA. It allows me to potentially re-lengthen my telomeres. It allows me to generate more neurons, and it allows me to potentially generate more stem cells. Now I'm presuming that it will allow you to generate more stem cells and neurons. I believe that's true, but you can verify that for yourself. I haven't read the research in a month, but this is what I recollect. So if I made a blunder, then verify the findings for yourself. I apologize about this video being an impromptu video, but it is what it is. So I just can't vindicate, I can't justify veganism, and I recommend weaning yourself off veganism or vegetarianism or the standard American diet. Just eat fruits and vegetables and fast if you're a healthy weight, and make sure that your body's nutrified before you fast, and make sure that you do it in a safe manner, meaning drink distilled water as you're fasting. Don't fast for more than 4 days in a row, and if you can't cope with fasting for 4 to 4.5 days in a row like I do every week, then break your fast sooner. But it's imperative that you fast at least for a brief period of time, because it allows your body to mend itself. Digesting food puts an enormous strain on your body, so you want to be able to earmark your energy towards DNA restoration. So you could at least do intermittent fasting before you transition into prolonged fasting. But if you can't handle prolonged fasting, don't worry about it. But I wouldn't fast for more than 4.5 days in a row. But if you're going to fast for 4 to 4.5 days in a row, make sure your body is nutrified. So I hope that you found this video to be enthralling and captivating, as well as insightful. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.